Is that gonna bother you?
Now, chapter 2. He knew that something wasn't right. That old feeling had come back. He couldn't sleep or rest for days. No matter how much he tried to ignore it, he could feel it deep in the pit of his stomach. Trying not to think about it made it worse. The only way to appease that feeling was to get back in his car and drive. He had had this gift for as long as he could remember, and he knew what to do. He dressed in his black fatigue pants, black tactical boots, and black t-shirt. He dug out his black duffel bag and threw it in the trunk of his car. He filled a small black backpack with snacks and MREs. Filled his cooler with sodas and water bottles and ice. His neighbors probably thought he was going fishing or hunting. Well, they were close, just not the normal type of hunting. He cranked his car and headed in the direction his inner voice told him to. It was getting dark when he left his quiet neighborhood. He drove all night, only stopping for gas and coffee. He entered the city of Baltimore just as the sun was peeking out. He felt very tired, and he knew he was in the right place because he could finally get some rest. He checked to a hotel and slept hard all day. When he woke, he had no idea how long he had been out. His watch said 7 o'clock, but he wasn't sure if it was 7 in the morning or 7 at night. He turned on the TV and saw that he had slept all day, all night, and all the next day. He was starving, so he showered, put on some regular clothes, and walked to a little coffee shop around the corner. Everyone was talking about the snatcher and how terrible it was that he had kidnapped a little girl this time, how frightened she must be. Police had been able to determine that the snatcher kept the children alive for 2 to 3 days, molesting and torturing them before he killed them. Justin couldn't take any more. He couldn't sit there and listen to the horrors. At least he got a few bites of his food in him before he started feeling sick. He paid his tab and rushed back to his room. Changed into more black fatigues, grabbed a few items from his duffel bag, and started off in his fatigues pants and left. Stuffed them in his fatigue pants and left. He didn't feel like
Future Stephen King people right here.
He didn't feel like driving. He had more time to concentrate on the task at hand when he wasn't worried about stop signs, speed limits, or tickets. He wandered through the city, letting his feet take him where he knew he had to go. Suddenly a guy blocked his path and asked him for a cigarette. Immediately Justin knew what was happening. He could sense the guy's partner behind him to the left. The old ask a guy for a cig trick while his friend grabs him from behind. Justin said, "Sorry dude, I don't smoke," and he ducked and spun to the right, and the other guy jumped from the shadows. They ended up hugging each other as Justin pulled out his telescoping baton, snapping it open and smacking the 2 assholes in the back of the head and the sides of the head. They were out cold, and Justin saw a switchblade in the guy's hand that tried to jump him from behind. He took the knife, closed it, put it in his pocket. He said to himself, "Let me see what else these pricks have on them." He found a small caliber pistol and $50 cash. He closed up his baton and thought to himself, "I had better disable these thugs for a while and give them time to think about what they were going to do here." He grabbed one of the guy's legs and held it up and stomped and broke his knee. Then he snapped the other guy's arm. That should keep these 2 naughty guys out of trouble for a while, he thought to himself.
So explain to me what's happened up to this point. Because, alright, there's a little boy in a sandbox, and somebody snatched him, right?
Right. And they found him dead in the river. Now, the guy, Justin, has started trying to find him, the killer. But he's already snatched another little kid, the girl. That's where it's at right now. So now he's in the city and searching around for him. He could feel the perverted desires and thoughts coming from his prey. He got stronger as he got closer to him. Justin stalked the killer like a jungle cat slinking up to a deer. Staying in the shadows, moving quietly, every step carefully placed, making no sound. He found himself at a rundown old house with an unkept yard. The feelings were getting stronger. Justin started to feel extremely anxious. This is it, he thought to himself. He walked around the back of the house and peered into the window, but he couldn't see anything. He felt an incredibly strong urge to move on with his task. Time was up. He must break in now. No waiting. He would not be able to sneak in or wait. Must go now. He broke the glass in the door, in the handle, and stuck his hand inside and opened the door. The victim was sure to hear him. No time to waste. My handwriting is pretty bad. I write real fast when I'm writing. Sometimes it's kind of bad. A little voice in his head told him. He saw a door under the stairwell with a light coming from it. He flung it open and ran down the stairwell, and suddenly he was hit with a crowbar. The pain was sharp, and he almost passed out. Instinctively, he spun around and out of the way just